Hello everyone, I hope you all are fine. I am Kanika Tandon and this is my third video of class 3rd English 2nd. In this video, I'll complete our chapter number 1 by giving you the answers of the remaining questions, read, reflect and write, and the exercise of the chapter. Also, before starting today's video, here's a revision test paper for whatever you have learned in these previous two videos. Everyone has to do this paper in their fair copies with the dates on the copy. So question number 1 is, complete the following sentences. One night before the fair, every dreamt something. You have to write the answer. And Fern dreamt about what? This question is of 4 marks. Write the meanings of the following words. First is Ferris wheel, second is bleating, third is overheated. These are of 6 marks. Third question, complete the list. There are 2 lists. One is Fern's list and another one is Every's list. So you have to complete it. This question is of 6 marks. And answer the following questions. Where were the rebels? Why were they there? Second, list 2 warnings that they gave to the children. These are of 4 marks. So this question revision paper is of 20 marks. And every week we'll come up with more question papers of whatever that is taught in the last video. Continuing with our chapter, second last part of the question is read, reflect and write. There were 2 types of question answers. One was reference to the context and another one is read, reflect and write. Reference to context I've already given in my last video. So coming to the read, reflect and write, question number 5. What were the sounds that Fern and Every heard when they reached the fair? So what were the sounds? There were many sounds, but Fern and Every heard the sound of music and flock of sheep bleating in their pen. Coming to question number 6. How did the parents feel about children going off on their own? How did the children feel about going off on their own? So in this question we have to tell the behavior of both parents and the children, how they were feeling about children going alone in the fair. So parents were nervous at first, but then they felt that they will grow up after some time and fair is a good place to start with, while the children were happy and excited about going off on their own. Coming to question number 7. Do you agree with Mr. Arable that the fair is a good place to start growing up? Write 2 reasons for your answers. We have to write 2 reasons why we think that Mr. Arable was actually right, that the children will grow up in the fair. Yes, I think fair is a good place to start with. By this, the children will understand how to spend the money and they will also be aware of the pickpockets. So this was the last question of chapter number 1. I hope that you complete all of your work in your notebooks in a very neat and clean handwriting. After completing the question answers, let's come to the exercise of the chapter. First exercise on page number 20. Write the correct collective nouns below the given picture. One has been done for you. So what are collective nouns? Okay, so collective nouns are the names that we give to a group or a collection of people, animal or things. Like for example, if I say a class of students, so a group of students forms a class. So in like this only we have to do this exercise. So first one has been done for you. So an army of ants. Another one is picture is of a group of sheep. So a flock of sheep. Then there are many people standing here. So it is a crowd of people. The students are sitting in a class. So it is a class of students. Coming to E. These are many group of penguins is called a colony of penguins. A bunch of grapes. A group of grapes is called a bunch of grapes. And a group of fish is called a school of fish. Okay, coming to the next exercise, which is on the same page number. In this sentences, sentences given below, circle the collective nouns, put a tick against the sentences that are correct and a cross against those who are wrong. In this question, we have to remember one thing, that when we use collective nouns, we use them as a singular noun. So whenever we use in this question, like we have used a herd of sheep, so this is used as a singular subject. So the helping verb here is used is. Alright, here similarly here the bunch of flowers are in the vase. The bunch of flowers is used as a singular subject. So the helping verb are should not be used. Instead, we should have used is. So in this question, what we have to check, first we have to circle or underline the collective noun and see whether the helping verb in the sentences are used correctly or not. So coming to question number 1, the herd of sheep is in the field. So herd of sheep is the singular subject and this is underlined here, herd of sheep, which is the collective noun. Here helping verb they have used is, and we have to use is only, so we'll put a tick against it. Coming to B, the bunch of flowers, so are in the vase. Underline bunch of flowers because that is the collective noun and are should not be used. Instead of are, we should have used is, so we'll put a cross against it. Coming to 3, the team of oxen are pulling the cart. Underline the team of oxen because it is the collective noun, and here also they have used are. Instead we must have used is. If they had used is, that would have been correct, so we'll put a cross against it. Coming to D, the fleet of ships is sailing today. The fleet of ships is the collective noun, so underline it, and here they have used is, which is correct, so we'll put a tick against it. Coming to the last two parts of the same exercise, the band of musicians play very well. Here the collective noun is the band of musician. So whenever the subject is singular, the verb that we have used comes in the singular form only, which is plays, but they have used play, so we'll put a wrong cross sign against it. And similarly in question number F, the swarm of bees make honey, which is also wrong because swarm of bees is used as a singular subject, so the verb should also be used in the singular form, which is makes, so we'll put a cross against it. Next exercise on page number 21, that is match the feminine gender words with the masculine gender words. So this is simple, we have to just do match the following. So headmistress will be matched with headmaster, nun, monk, wife, husband, niece, nephew, and aunt, uncle. You can either put these numbers like I have put, or you can also match. That is up to you and your choice. Turning on the page, coming on page number 22, we have question number 2. Sort the gender of the words given below and put them on the correct list. You can use your dictionary if you need some help. So what we have to do, from this help list we have to read each word and see whether it is masculine in gender, feminine in gender, or common in gender. So masculine is the male gender, feminine is the female gender, and common gender is the gender by which whenever we hear a word, for example, if we hear teacher, doctor, student, or a child, we cannot identify whether it is a male or a female. So these people come in the category of common gender when we cannot make sure by listening to its word that if it is a female in gender or male in gender. So coming to the policeman is simply a man, so it will come in the masculine gender. Bride, feminine. Doctor, we don't know whether doctor is a lady doctor or a gents doctor, I mean a male doctor or a female doctor, so we'll put doctor under common gender. Coming to policewoman, woman means a lady, so it will come under feminine gender. Groom is the boy who is about to get married. So groom comes under masculine gender. Friend, we don't know whether it is a male friend or a female friend, so it will come under common noun. Watchman is a man, so we'll put it under masculine gender. Student, we don't know whether it is a girl student or a boy student, so it will come under common gender. Wizard is a man, so it will come under masculine gender. Lady is a feminine, so it will come under feminine gender. Child, we don't know whether it is a boy or a baby boy or a baby girl, so it will come under common noun. Grandson, son means male, so it will come under masculine. Queen, that is female, of course, it will come under female gender, feminine gender. Teacher, we don't know whether it is a lady teacher or a gents teacher, a male teacher or a female teacher, so it will come under common noun. And sister will come under feminine gender, because sister is female in gender. Coming to the next exercise on same page number, that is page number 22, question exercise number 3. Draw lines to match the objects to the correct material noun. What is the material noun? The name of the materials that we use to make things are called material noun. So we have to see that whether we have to see the pictures first and see by which material it is made. So first one is a toy car, which will be made up of plastic. Of course, this is one. You can put a line, you can match, or you can also put a number like I have done. Coming to the second one, this is a metallic structure. This is a knight. Knight means a warrior kind of, the person who fight in a war or something. So it will come under metal. Third one is Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is made up of marble. Fourth is boat. Boat is made up of wood. And last is cotton. So it will be made up of cotton, of course. Coming to the last second exercise of this chapter on page number 23, comma. Read these sentences and put commas in the right place. So where do we put comma? When we have to differentiate between two or more than two things. So coming to the first sentence, Rohit, Neena, Sama and Mona study at the same school. So Rohit, comma, Neena, comma, Sama and Mona. Since and is present between Sama and Mona, we don't need to put any comma in between. So we'll put commas after Rohit and Neena. Coming to second, in the classroom there are desks, chairs and cupboards. So we'll put a comma between desks and chairs because we have to differentiate between desks and chairs. Coming to third, Diwali, Pongal, Dashera, Navroz and Eid are all festivals. So Diwali, comma, Pongal, comma, Dashera, comma, Navroz and Eid are all festivals. Joel went to the market and bought some beans, 6 bananas, a book and a pencil. So what all things he brought? Some beans, comma, 6 bananas, comma, a book and a pencil. Last one is, I like reading, watching films, listening to music and playing football. So what all things I like? Reading, one thing, watching films, second thing, listening to music, third thing and last thing is playing football. So we'll put comma after reading, watching films, and that's it, because there is and present between listening to music and playing football. Coming to the last exercise of the chapter on page number 24. Farms animals live in barn. Bats also live in a barn. Do you know what kind of animals bats are? Listen to some information about bats and take the correct choices. So bats do not eat ripe fruits, small fish, frogs and chips. So bats do not eat chips. Bat do not have feathers, fur, mouth or beaks. It does not have feathers. Baby bats are called cubs, kitten, puppies, chicks. So baby bats are called puppies. And what is the another animal whose kids are called puppies? Dog. A group of bats is called a building, colony, flock, or herd. It is colony. So we have completed our chapter number 1 of English 2nd. Now coming to the homework part. First, you have to do the revision paper very seriously and without cheating. Second, you have to complete your work in your notebook as well as in your book. And third, learn whatever is taught in today's video, because in the next video, before starting the new poem, I'll give you revision test paper 2, which will include whatever that has been taught in this video. I hope this is clear to you all, and I'll come up with the next video next week. Till then, keep studying and take care of yourselves. Thank you.